Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be walking through how to set up and use the Tesec CDN3083S100, which is designed for power line testing up to 100 amps. This decoupling network, or CDN, allows for both IEC and ANSI coupling methods and is designed for use with the Tesec NSG3060 and the CDN3061, which you will see on our right. During today's video, we're going to walk through a little bit about the CDN, how to set it up with the associated transient generator, and then finally, how to change the different coupling methods on our CDN3083S100. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the CDN. Here's the Tesec CDN3083S100, and this coupling-decoupling network allows for surge testing with a maximum voltage of 620 volts AC or DC, as well as a continuous current of up to 100 amps. Now let's go ahead and let's work our way from left to right. On your left, you'll find the input terminals. Following that, the connections to the line synchronization unit on top of the decoupling network, which you can see right there. They are blue, yellow, and black, and you can see we have a black, green, and black on the second surge decoupling network. To the right of that, you'll find the temperature gauges and our INA3080 surge coupling networks, which you'll see the larger rectangular boxes right there on top. You will notice that we have two mounted on our decoupling network. This allows for both the IEC and the ANSI coupling methods. Should you only have one of the INA3080s, you would be limited to the IEC coupling methods. Just to the right of that, you'll find our coupling mode connectors, which we'll talk more about later, as well as the output from our coupling-decoupling network. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the connections that need to be made from our NSG3060 to our CDN3083. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's talk briefly on how to set up the Tesec CDN3083S100 with our Tesec NSG3060 test system. Now, one of the unique things about the CDN3083S100 is it does require the CDN3061, which you will see directly below our NSG3060 test system. So there's three different connections need to be made from the test system to our CDN3083S100. The first of which is going to be from the synchronization unit to the backside of our NSG3061. And then we're going to have two outputs. Those are going to be the surge outputs, both the high and the low, from our NSG3060 going to our CDN3083S100. The high one, that's going to be going to our INA3080, and the low is going to go into the corresponding connection for the associated coupling method. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's turn on our NSG3060, and let's look at the display and show you how to select the manual surge coupling network. Okay, so we just made all the necessary connections from our Tesec NSG3060 test system to our CDN3083S100. Now let's go ahead and let's click on combination wave. And this is going to be your combination wave surge test screen. And then we're going to look on the right hand side. You can see right there it is already indicated as manual CDN, but it could say just surge output right there. And when you do click that surge output, you should see manual CDN right there. Alright, so that should just about wrap it up with the setup of the CDN3083S100 with our NSG3060 test system. Alright, so now let's go ahead and let's walk through a few different coupling configurations with our CDN3083S100. Alright, so now let's go ahead and let's walk through some different coupling configurations using our Tesec CDN3083S100. During today's video, we are referencing a guide provided by AMETEK CTS for how that's done, and we are going to be looking at some of the IEC configurations. So taking a look at our outputs from our Tesec NSG3060, you will see we have our low going to neutral right here, and then we have our high going to the input on our INA3080. So if we do want to do, let's say L1 to neutral, all we have to do is disconnect this right here, just like that, and put it over to L1, just like that. So now we have our L1 to neutral. Now if we did want to test, let's say L1 to ground, all we have to do is disconnect our low output from our generator and put it over to ground. Again, for today's video, We just focused on the closest two lines, so we have L1 in neutral, just because you can see them a little better. However, the same kind of methodology would apply for both L2 and L3. All right, so that should just about wrap it up for today. We hope this video has been useful as we walked through a little bit about the Tesec CDN3083S100. We walked through a little bit about the system, how to set it up and get it communicating with our NSG3060. And then finally, we walked through a few different coupling methods using our Tesec CDN3083S100. Please feel free to reach out to us if you're in need of any rental AMETEK CTS equipment.